standard MyPillows, just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sale because right now, every order ships absolutely free. I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Friday night. Dish Network, Channel 219, Pluto TV, Channel 240, Samsung TV Plus. Just dial it up on 1175. Roku TV on the Roku channel, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and you can also catch the show on Select TV, Channel 106. Remember, also on all of the socials, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter X, Kick, Getter, Instagram, you name it. You can follow us on all the socials and, of course, all the chats that will be in, which includes the Rumble and the Rumblers, the YouTube chat, of course, Facebook. We also have the Twixers on X or Twix, whatever you want to call it. Like and share the show again on a Friday night. Welcome to the program. Slick Rick is here with sports. Kevin Downey Jr. is joining us as well. David will be here shortly. He's just running a little bit late, but we're getting the night kicked off because, well, we have to. We can't just sit around and wait for the guy. The pizza was here on time.
Yes, it was. It was early.
KDJ was here on time.
Yeah, fresh out of Damon's trunk.
Right. Slick Rick was here even before the pizza was here because he was ready for it. He was texting me saying, make sure you get here. I'm hungry.
Early for a change.
Yes, exactly. So it's a Friday night. Welcome to the program. We appreciate you guys joining us. Slickness, how are you?
I'm doing well, Rick. How was your Valentine's Day today?
You know what? Not much of a Valentine's Day, and
nobody showed you the love, huh?
No, nobody showed me the love. And I'm surprised that you're not in red, I gotta say.
That was too cliche. I had a few people ask me that question. I was like, it's just too cliche to wear red today. I'm good. All
right. So how was your day otherwise? How was your Valentine's Day?
Good day today. I had to take Mom to the doctor, which was most important. Also, I was out very early, so I really wasn't thinking Valentine's Day first thing. So, truth be told, I got a little full disclosure there. But good day overall. Got some stuff done today. Had a delicious pizza. Thanks to you picking that up for us. Thank you. And all the super chats that give us the money for the pizza. God bless you.
So Super Chat Pizza Friday night. We appreciate you guys. And of course, as we try and make sure he fills a seat for us every Friday night, Kevin Downey Jr. You might know him better as Kevin Downey Jr. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, thank you. I was going to wear my red velvet jacket, but I too thought that Slick Rick would be clad in red. Now, I did want to go cliche, so I wore red. I wore my... I'm on a government watch list t-shirt.
There you go.
That I could not wear until Trump was inaugurated. Now I wear it happily. And it's good to see you guys again. Been a while.
Let me guess. You wear that only at airports.
Only at airports. Perfect. There you go.
Now, how are you feeling? Because I know you were down for a little bit.
I had that. It was worse than COVID. I had COVID too. I don't know when they invented this virus, but man, was it a doozy. I think this one was I think they invented COVID so they could give us the shot to weaken us. I didn't take it. And then they released this one to slaughter everybody who took the shot. This is the worst flu I've ever had in my life. I wanted to die, and the virus said, nope, you lose. So, yeah, it was brutal, man. But, I've been away a while. Had some gigs, had some flu. Back at it, ready to curb stomp some communists.
Yeah, and you look good. And where can people find you if they want to find out more about Kevin Downey Jr., not only the radio star from Long Island News Radio 103.9.
That's right.
You can also find him online. You can go see his comedy. You can read his musings online as well. Yes. PJmedia.com. I'm an author there. I would go to LI, it stands for Long Island, linewsradio.com every Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'd go to PJ Media, and I'm on all the socials. You can find me there. My website is down for maintenance right now, or I'd give you that. But the radio show is exploding, and if you're not listening and you like a little commie clown slapping with your coffee, that's the place to be, linewsradio.com. Yes,
Monday
very good. So make sure you follow him all over the socials as well. Find out, you know what, he could be coming to your town soon. I know that
could be. He's
been on the road a lot lately. You did some stuff over in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, I was just at Parks Casino in Shippensburg, Parks Casino in Bensalem. I got some stuff upstate coming up. All over the joint. I'm going to be all over the joint. So check out Twitter. It'll be on there. Check out Facebook. And
Nice.
you'll know where I am at all times. It's easy to stalk me. It's very easy.
He welcomes stalkers.
I welcome.
Hey, let me ask you this, Kevin, because we haven't seen you in a couple weeks. A lot has happened. I think you'd agree that the last 3 weeks have been kind of a whirlwind, right? In terms of the news breaking coming out of D.C., between Doge, between everything that they're doing, the moves that President Trump is making, and basically the meltdown of the left.
And you know what? Every minute has been nothing but glorious fun. I wake up, I check the phone, it's something hilarious. By noon, Trump has done something else that's hilarious. And by 10 or 11 o'clock, he'll say something, even if it's like clown slapping some Operation Mockingbird moron from CNN. It's just always fun and always funny. Now, Lee Zeldin is the guy who's been really rocking the Casbah lately.
Yeah, he has.
As a matter of fact,
Our
yeah.
very
You know
own.
about
Our
the
very
20
own.
billion with a B. You hear about the 50 million?
No.
Oh, well, I got that one. I'll drop that little bomb later.
All right.
Every day, it's Doge, it's Trump, it's Lee Zeldin. Something is happening, folks. And I'm going to tell you, I've never been so happy in my life. The last 4 years, I think we're all on the same side going, hey, when are they going to kick in our door? When are they going to come for us? When are they going to lock us up for no reason? Those days are gone for now. But we keep our foot on the gas. We don't let up for the rest of our lives, because we know that even if we get every commie out of every institution, you sit back for 1 minute and there's some knucklehead going, hey, I think I'll go run for school board and bring pornography back into elementary school. Keep an eye out, folks. We don't let up.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a great lead-in to something that I wanted to talk about. We might as well jump right to it, is how it seems that Trump, and we've talked about it before here, Bannon calls it flooding the zone, right? Where you just hit the left, hit the Democrats with as much as you want to do, hot and heavy, every single day. If somebody complains about 10 people being fired, fire another 100, and which is what they're doing. Just go down the line and just keep knocking things off that they love, and make it a point that they can't really get their sea legs to kind of battle you, right?
That way. Trump is hitting them so hard and so fast from every angle. They don't know what it's going to be the next day. They don't know where it's coming from. They can't be ready for it.
Yeah.
They think, we're going to go after Elon. It's going to be another Doge day. And it's not. He comes up with something else. And he's doing, you've probably heard the expression, these 80-20 things.
Yes.
Where 80% of the nation's on his side. He's hammering away at those. And I don't know if you saw this. His support with black men on election day was 24%. It's up to 42 now. 42%. Because he keeps winning. This guy doesn't play. And you know what? This is a different Trump this time around for a couple of reasons. One of which is he's not out for revenge. He's out for justice. All right?
Yeah.
You notice they dropped some charges on Letitia James. She hasn't said a word.
Actually, she did rage today.
Oh, did she?
I have a couple clips. We'll get to
good,
those. Yeah, we'll get to those in a little bit.
Okay, because she was being mysteriously quiet.
Right.
Afterwards. Good. I'm glad she's finally come out of her hole.
Yeah, but in terms of this assault on the left, James Carville decided to kind of lay around and do a podcast. I say lay around because when you see him, he's actually laying down, I think. Here's cut number 7. Here is his take on Trump and what he's been doing to the Democrats ever since he got inaugurated 3 weeks ago. Cut 7. Check this out.
Don't forget Rod Blagojevich. Trump is a criminal. And the criminals like to be around other criminals.
And a mob boss.
Yeah. So Bannon is right. We are flooded in, and we are searching for a way to deal with this. These are extraordinarily difficult times.
Listen to what he says.
And he just keeps moving with one stupid thing after another. Maybe some of our I'm struggling here a little bit, so maybe some of our really smart viewers can help us untangle a little bit. It's really tangled now because no one knows where to land. It's all too incomprehensible. We're getting overwhelmed.
Here it is.
And things that we thought that would kill a political career, that would be poisonous for whatever reason, this guy keeps trucking along.
Yeah. And I think that's probably the most important part of what he said there. Things that they used to be able to count on to take on people that disrupted their system, that decided, hey, we're not going to go along with the swamp. I'm going to puff out and feel like I can do something on my own, and they would destroy that person and get them back in line. Cory Booker's a great example of this. If you remember the way he spoke out against Obama way back when he was the mayor in Newark, and about 2 weeks later, he was right back in line, and now he's a senator.
Yeah, Eric Adams, too.
Yeah.
Remember what Biden said to him? Eric, be a good Democrat.
Right. And he wasn't. And they came after him. Well, here, again, I want to really isolate this point from James Carville, because he basically tells you it's not working anymore. Everything that they've done to insulate themselves from the Democratic BS, the way they hyperbolically react to everything, the wrap-up smears. They're not working anymore. Last week, perfect example. Last week, they tabled Kash Patel. They wanted another week, and what they do, like the next 10 minutes, we read it live on the show when it popped up. Damon found it. They were launching an investigation because he lied to the Congress about money he might or might not have made. Mm-hmm. So right there, and guess what happened? It didn't track. Sure. Nobody cared. It was quickly debunked. And that's why James Carville looks like he's what do you call it? A jellyfish laying on his couch with no spine, because I think they're all getting broken. Here's cut number 8 again. Listen to what he's saying here, because I think this really is what is happening to the Democratic Party.
We're getting overwhelmed, and things that we thought that would kill a political career, that would be poisonous for whatever reason, this guy keeps trucking along.
Yeah. Everything they thought that they could use that were poisonous to a political career, he just blasts through them. He just keeps, as James says, he keeps chugging along. And the first thing he says is, we're getting overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. He just keeps pounding and pounding and pounding.
You know what? For you Civil War enthusiasts, this is Grant losing. I think it's there's 7 battles in a row, 7 days battles or something, and he would advance anyway. He would lose the battle, but keep advancing. That's what Trump is doing, but he's not losing the battle.
Right. Trump
is winning it, and they have no idea. And he doesn't stop to rest.
No.
He doesn't stop to rest. He's just moving on, and they don't know what's going to happen the next day, and it's so much fun to watch. Even if you're not into politics, this is hilarious.
It really is. Or, as I like to say, glorious. It is. It's truly glorious to watch, because the melting down across the board. Oh. I mean, you've got Dean. No, not Dean Phillips. Who's this guy? Garcia in the House using the D word during a proceeding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
About the pick?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, talk about a joke that flops.
Right. I mean, It's amazing. We got that. We got a whole lot more. We've got sports with Slick. Kevin Downey Jr. is here, of course. Always a good time when Kevin shows up. And, of course, Damon is going to be here in just a little bit. He's running just a little bit late. All we need to do is to stay right where you are. We got more on Friday night, Pizza Friday night, live from Studio 6B. Real America's Voice. Stay there.
look at this.
Me.
Look at that one.
All right. Live in the chats.
Go to the YouTube chat. We got a nice super chat there, Delgado.
I gotta get there.
From Joe in Las Vegas.
Really?
Joe and Angela.
Joe and Angela.
Yep. They know good pizza. I know that. At least Angela.
Joe and Angela.
Thank you so much. Very kind.
I'm getting over there. I got to reboot my my
God.
YouTubes. You want to read it? Read it out because he said it's a big one. It's a nice one, right? $99.99.
I got to read it. Yep. Joe in Las Vegas, $99.99 for Pizza Friday. Our favorite show to watch together. Humor and info. Joe and Angela in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Nice.
Thank you.
Wow, that was
for that
beautiful.
pizza.
Thank you.
Maybe someday Slick and I will actually be able to get out to Vegas
Oh, yeah.
at the Sphere.
Yeah, we'll see. That's neither sphere nor there when you talk to Big D. That's for sure. Big D's on his way in. He's driving in.
Ratchet's in the Rumble chat. Four
a nice super
hour
chat,
45 is in there. KT Frog.
Who was that again?
Hassan
Joe
Tucker.
and Angela in Las Vegas.
Love you.
We love you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
XO says Aaron.
Angela H in the YouTube says, KDJ, we are so glad you are back. We have prayed for you a bunch.
Thank you for your prayers. I
Angela
mean it.
H. She's good people in the chat.
Thank you. I mean it. This was the worst illness I've ever had.
Mary Gronsky asks, what kind of pizza? Bacon pizza.
It's the staple. I think it's the one we love the most.
Yep.
Kevin, can you hear Aaron?
You sound like Charlie Brown's teacher. That's all I hear.
You know what? It could be your. You tap it. Sometimes it gets a little kick in. No. A little bit. A little bit. Sure.
Boy, this is a production disaster tonight, huh?
Thank you, sir. You know, everywhere you go, someone calls these things something different.
Yeah.
We call him a piece of shit.
Oh, watch your mouth here. We're on TV.
I'm sorry. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Friday night. Welcome to the program. As always, we appreciate you guys spending your Friday evening, well, basically any evening that you can spend with us live. We totally appreciate it. Again, if you are in the chats, we appreciate that as well. We'll try and get to them throughout the show as well. A lot of funny people are always in the chats. A lot of funny people and very appreciative people who donate to the program, and we appreciate that as well. So thank you. Real quick, Kevin Downey Jr. is here. He's going to be, we got some news with him, some stuff that he wants to talk about. Damon's going to be joining us shortly, but let's kick things off with some sports with Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. You can go to MyPillow.com, use our code LFS6B at checkout, save yourself a ton of money on some great stuff from Mike and the people at MyPillow. Slick Rick, what do you got, my friend?
All right, Rick, a light scoreboard tonight, but I want to get to the NCAA men's basketball. Good game going on right now. St. Louis leads Loyola Chicago 48-45, 15 to go in the second half. Indiana and UCLA just underway. Indiana up by 1 with 15 to go in the first. Nevada and San Jose State coming up at 10 p.m. tip-off. The Genesis Invitational, round 2, play complete. Torrey Pines, the La Jolla, California, $20 million purse, and that went to the first. The second round is in number 1 position is Davis Thompson. He shot an 8 under today, so looking pretty good there. And let's get to a couple of quick stories here. Some man in Philadelphia. Tell you, got to be careful when you go there.
Yeah.
At least 2 shot in Philly during Eagles Super Bowl parade. And what is going on? This is Orr Hawkins of Breitbart. At least 2 people were shot Friday in the Spring Garden neighborhood in Philadelphia during the Eagles' celebratory Super Bowl parade. CBS News reported that there is not a status on the severity of the victims' wounds, nor is there any indication of what led up to the shooting. January 31st, 2025, Bright News noted that the Kansas City Chiefs decided in event of a KC victory, they would not hold a rally for the public, the one following the team's 2024 win, where a shooting occurred that left 1 dead and more than 20 injured. Breitbart News pointed to a PBS report on February 14th shooting, which said 12 people brandished firearms and at least 6 people fired weapons at the rally. This is earlier today. Chiefs defensive end Charles Omenihu responded to that shooting by claiming guns are too easy to get in the United States and calling for more laws. What else is new? Omenihu did this before any information was made public about the number of guns involved, how those guns were acquired, and the ages and identities of the alleged shooters. So more coming out on that report. This report was a few hours ago. I'll see if there's anything more up to date with that shooting in Philly, but really just very dangerous. And,
and it's amazing. It's like, why would you buy? Why? Why can't you just have a good day? Show up, have some fun, have a couple cheesesteaks, party with your team, and then call it a day.
Exactly.
You know?
I see the silver lining. It's Philadelphia. Only 2 people were shot. I would throw another parade just for that.
Well, I hope nobody fell off a utility pole, because they're good at doing that too. They're trying to take these poles down, and it's just it's great. They want to celebrate their team, but some of these cities take it a little too far. Yeah. Philly is definitely one of them. Great sports city, one of the most passionate groups of fans, but I got to tell you, sometimes they go a little overboard, and that's the case in Philly. And that's a wrap in sports. I got another story coming up about the USA anthem getting booed in Canada during this 4-team play in here with the All-Stars, so I'll get to that in my next sports segment. Back to you.
All right, very good, Slick. And did you happen to catch the video of Saquon Barkley walking down the street there with the parade?
I did not.
Very cool moment. He, I guess, one of the ball boys for the team, Eagles ball boys, was left off the bus.
Oh,
and wasn't part of the group and didn't get to go in the parade. Saquon saw him on the side of the street, grabbed him, pulled him over the rails.
Oh, wow.
And brought him on.
He's a class act.
And, you know, just when you think you can't like this guy anymore, he didn't want to leave the Giants, but he had to because they weren't going to pay him.
No.
And I just like the guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I like him too. Now, if he could leave Philadelphia and come back to New York, everybody would just be, throwing their hands up and down.
Or if Jerry could have had the brains to sign him when he was a free agent at the beginning of the season, that would have helped me too. But, I know that's a big if.
Anyhow, so Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Again, use our code checkout, LFS6B. Save yourself some big money on some great stuff from Mike and the great people at MyPillow.com. Damon's here. How are you, Damon?
What's up, boys?
How are you?
You know the thing about Carville that he doesn't that most of the Democrats don't realize. I was listening to you guys on my way in on 103.9 LI News, which you sound great on, by the way. Sound good.
Cool.
I heard your Carville clip. The thing that people don't realize, because I hear people on the other side and the left say, "Oh, well, they were a little shocked, obviously, at inauguration, but now they're starting to get their steam." And I would strongly push back on the other side of that they're not getting any steam, that they're completely lost. Our crazy towns from the last couple of days would prove that, number one. That's the resistance. I mean, they're not pushing back on anything, number one. Number two, think about what Trump and Elon are taking out. They're taking out all the things that they've relied on. Forget the fact that they have no candidates. That's probably the top level thing. They have no leadership. They have David Hogg and a couple others. When you watch mainstream media news, you see AOC, moron, Bernie Sanders, moron, Elizabeth Warren, moron, Eric Swalwell, moron. These are the go-tos right now on all the mainstream media. But what are Trump and Elon doing? They're taking away all the money laundering that they've relied on. They're taking on all of the front groups like USAID, all to their advantage, all the money laundering to their advantage. They're going after the education, all to their advantage. They're going after the media to their advantage. So they're taking away things that the Democrats and Democrat candidates have relied on so heavily that what Carville is saying is not only right now are we a ship lost at sea with no rudder, we have no candidates, we're not even going to be able to go back and rely on the things that we've relied on because they're either going to be out of business, bankrupt, defunct, and the American people are now awake to it.
Yeah, not only
So what are we going to do? How are we going to scheme our way to these things?
Yeah, not only are they awake, but they're okay with it. You don't see the public running out going, oh, my God, please don't turn off the money for the Democrats. The public isn't doing that. It's only the Democrats.
Yeah.
Right?
They're playing defense, and they have no defense. They don't seem to understand. You're bringing out Chuck Schumer to hold a can of beer and an avocado. Go, that's Trump. It's just even what's his name? Jon Stewart said, hide Chuck Schumer, hide him, because everything they do is embarrassing. It doesn't work. AOC can't pretty her way out of this. Nothing they're doing is working. And every time they fall in their old playbook, another American who's maybe our normie neighbor, you know the types, nothing against them, they go, wow, there's nothing here for me. And another person walks away.
Right. It's almost like watching the Lions in a playoff game. What?
And what they have left, of course, is what they're now
That's a rough one,
hanging almost everything on. And that, of course, is the judiciary. And that's why they keep running things to the First Circuit. And why they keep judge shopping, because this is now what's left for them. Mm-hmm. What's left for them is judicial supremacy. And once this works its way, and it will, to either appellate courts that say, no, smack down of these lower courts, or to the Supreme Court, then on things like birthright citizenship and the president's executive powers. But for right now, this is what they're left with, holding on to. That's why you see everything being run to the First Circuit in D.C. that doesn't have not one single Republican appointee on it. Not a one. Everyone who sits on the First Circuit is a Dem-appointed justice. So this is their game right now.
Yeah, and once this is up, once that jig is up, they're left with one thing and one thing only. And it's something that they love to talk about. They love to talk about bringing the violence, taking to the streets. We're going to make it a street fight. Oh, really? Good luck with that. Mm-hmm. Guys don't even like to show up for work.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 26 past the hour. We'll do some sport. We did sports. We'll do some news with Delgado. Kevin Downey Jr. is in the house tonight. Back, feeling better. We'll get to him as well on a Friday, Pizza Friday. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. We'll be back right after this.
Good.
I have batteries if we need them. I have a whole new one outside.
Oh. You gotta watch the.
You said he was laying down or something? Yeah. Was it a podcast or something?
Yeah, he was playing.
Yeah, he doesn't give a crap. Looks like a James O'Keefe undercover video.
Yeah. Dude. He didn't do a lot of cursing though. It was only a one.
He's been worn down to the reality of the situation.
Man, oh man, 1,500 already on a Friday night on the Rumble Super Chat. Let's see. Over on Twix, what are we looking at? Twixers. Where's the number? Over 1,000 already. 1,088. And over on the YouTubes.
What's going on? Chat.
1,059. Very nice. I don't have my Facebook.
Hit the like, subscribe.
In the YouTube chat, James Reed asks, how's the back, Damon?
Not good today. Took a step backwards today. Frustrating.
Yeah, you look like you were wincing a little when you came in.
Frustrating.
Yes, I went to see the good doctor
Still
myself.
not as bad as Monday when I had tears in my eyes sitting here.
It was more like Monday.
Not like that. but not. We plateaued from yesterday.
I went to see our contact today myself.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Our contact. Your undercover contact.
Super chat. LSU Patriots
Yes.
celebrating Valentine's Day with LFS6B and the two ladies in my life, my grandma and my mom. I love that. Sandra and Emily Rogers. Can you wish them a happy Valentine's Day for $5? LSU Patriot. We will wish them a happy Mother's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, Sandra and
Mother's Day.
Emily.
Valentine's Day.
Maybe I can sing
Valentine's
to them.
Day.
Whose side are you on?
Chicken
What side?
Parmesan.
Whose
You
side?
know-
Is it whose side or what side?
What side are you on?
Whose side are
side?
you
I
on?
don't know.
Chicken.
I did mention to Erin, I'm like,
Whose
do you still
side
have those
are
crazy
you
towns? Because
on?
I know Damon might want to play them again. She said, God, no.
God, no. No, Kev. Sorry, I can't do it even for Kev. I can't. No, we can't do it.
Even just the singing?
I think the audience would revolt. All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. He's taking the population thing seriously.
Yes.
When he says he thinks that we need more babies, he ain't kidding.
No.
30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. On a Friday night, Pizza Friday. I was late, so I did. How was Pizza Friday?
Delicious.
Delish.
Went with the old same,
Yes.
fastball right down the middle, bacon
Yes.
on your Sicilian.
Of
course.
All right, very good.
With the,
And you know what?
pork.
And I was telling the guys beforehand that I walked in. Normally, I walk in, because I'll call from the car and be like, they'll say 20 minutes, and it's usually 30. I walked in right at 20 minutes, and Dave behind the thing, he's like, Rick, here we go, and he comes running out with.
Oh, they know your name.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
they
didn't know your name,
Yeah,
huh?
it's like
Wow.
Cheers.
I
over
told
there.
you do the delivery like nobody. Delivery or Delgado.
They had it. They had it piping hot. Just came out. He saw me coming. He ran it over. He had the knots. He had the side of sauce. I was out the door.
All right, very good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
31 past the hour on a Friday night. So before we get to news, we did sports. Look, we'll do some more sports. Sports brought to you by our friend Mike Lindell. Did you see J.D. Vance today?
Yep.
Yeah.
Boy, J.D. Vance, as I told you, he is almost like an AI created firing machine that just senses when he's around panties, pansies,
Or panty waist.
wussies.
Yeah.
Sitzpinklers, auf Deutsch ist Sitzpinkler.
Yes, and he just fires away. He just fires away at weakness, and he is sharp. He is articulate. He is eloquent. He is right to the point. And oh boy, is everybody old big mad over across the pond today, because he went there and laid the wood down and told them exactly what's going on there, and pulled no punches about it. And he knew it because he said somewhere in the beginning of the speech, I hope that's not the last applause I get.
Well, you know what's funny too is, can anybody name a vice president who's ever been this important?
Impressive.
No.
Yeah, not only impressive but important.
I agree. And you know what, Damon, to what you're saying, he went there and he said, look, folks, the problem is mass migration. You had a situation the other day where an asylum seeker drove a car and hit 28 people.
It's like the fourth time it's happened there in like the last couple years.
Yep. And you know what? It's that thing. No one wants to talk about it. We've been trained. Don't talk about the people killing you, or we're going to call you a racist. He's done with that. He's pointing out who's doing what, and he's absolutely right. And you can't take him to task. It's not racism. He's just pointing out the obvious. But it was good to see someone actually, especially in Europe where they don't do this. They will fine you for saying, hey, what's with all these Muslim rapes? They have fined people. They will put you in jail. In England, if you say, "What? Hey, that guy killed those little girls. I'm really angry." Well, you got to go to jail because now you're a racist. But he said it. He said it. And Bill Maher said something the other day. He goes, he said, the illegal immigrants are the new Islam, meaning you can't, you couldn't criticize Islam, even though they're flying airplanes into buildings and slaughtering people around the world. Those days are coming to an end because people are sick of dying. Women are sick of being terrorized in the streets. And J.D. Vance eloquently, he called it. He brought him to the carpet. Said, "This is over. We got to talk about this."
Welcome to the realignment, boys. The realignment towards American values. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. And he didn't go over there and give the same old speech that we've always heard about Russia, China, Russia, China, Russia, China. He got right off put that right off the table from the jump. And boy, they're all big mad about it. But man, he is just. It was almost like he was just created out of a lab to do exactly this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he just. It's like when he was with Margaret Brennan or any of these other times. He is just geared towards sensing weakness, knowing when he's around absolute total weakness, empty suit, gold-plated phonies who want to sit there and wag their finger at him. And he said, But I thought it was 13 minutes. I was trying to think, what has there been a speech from a vice president overseas that's been more impactful early on in any administration than this one? I couldn't think of one.
And you know what? I would even expand it. Not only overseas, here. Have you ever been impressed by a vice president like this?
But I mean, the message he brought to them and said, you can't keep doing what you're doing,
right?
And we're going to make sure of it. I mean, to bring that message right to their face overseas, is what stood out to me.
You know what it reminded?
Just matter of factly, just said no. Very much like Trump. Matter of factly said, no, those days are over.
It reminded me. I don't know, and many people miss this. Pope John Paul gave a speech. He was a Polish pope. He gave a speech to Polish people when the Soviet Union had some grip on them. And he said, "Get off your bellies." And everyone stopped and went, "He's right." And you know what? That was an instrumental moment in freeing Poland. Now, it didn't have a big wave here, because why would it? But that is what galvanized Poland. And I'm telling you, when I heard him say that, it reminded me of that, because he's letting him know how it is. And it's, you know what? Sound the alarm. It's now or never, folks. It's now or never. We're never going to have another Trump again. Now is the time.
Yeah. Well, I thought JD was fantastic. I thought he was sharp, eloquent, to the point. What was the 12, 13 minutes, whatever it was? I thought it was fantastic. And when you saw the reaction to it, it doubled down on how fantastic it was.
Well, you can always you always know when you're over the target, because they start freaking out.
Yeah, they get up to the mic after you and they go, "Oh, that's unacceptable." Mm-hmm. That's how you know how good it was.
Just crazy.
So,
crazy.
All right, let's do some news. News is brought to you by our friends at 7cells, 7cells.com, SEVEN, 7cells.com. Their ivermectin is back in stock. For those of you asking me every day, I get emails almost every day. David, where do you get your ivermectin that you take once a week for inflammation in the body? That's where I get it. 7 Cells. You can use code LFS6B for 10% off. If you want to get your ivermectin for inflammation, that's where I get mine. That's where you can get yours. Code LFS6B, 10% off. Rick Delgado's got the news. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, speaking about J.D. Vance being overseas, making that speech, President Trump was asked about it today in the White House, and here he is, what he had to say. This is cut number 6. Here's President Trump commenting on J.D. Vance's speech, cut 6.
Vice President Vance's speech to the conference has ruffled quite a few feathers in Europe.
What did he say to ruffle them?
He was talking about the freedom of speech and migration in Europe. Do you believe that European leaders have a fundamentally different view of the world than this administration's?
Well, I heard his speech. You're talking about J.D.'s speech, right?
Yes, sir.
I heard his speech, and he talked about freedom of speech, and I think it's true in Europe. It's losing. They're losing their wonderful right of freedom of speech. I see it. I mean, I thought he made a very good speech, actually, a very brilliant speech. And Europe has to be careful. And he talked about immigration. And Europe has a big immigration problem. Just take a look at what's happened with crime. Take a look at what's happening in various parts of Europe. I thought his speech was very well received, actually. I've heard very good remarks.
Yeah, so there you have it. The president reviewing and, basically lining up right with everything his vice president said to the blob of Europe. over there.
I mean, you go to X and just type in JD Vance and just look at some of just not the people you know who you follow who have shows, or just look at regular people. John 543. Just go look at you can tell who the regular people are. They got 10 followers or whatever. I mean, just look at the response from most of them. I mean, I just picked a couple here. Honestly, he says, this guy Chuck says, one of the best speeches I've ever heard, and right in the face of the gathered Euro authoritarian elite by JD Vance. Simply amazing. Must watch it in full context. You owe it to yourself to take 18 minutes to watch this. And it just goes on and on. Michael Knowles, our friend Michael Knowles, that Munich speech was magnificent. JD Vance is a pro. I mean, there's many moments from his speech that you could pull out. JD Vance went to the Munich Security Conference and roasted the entire continent of Europe for being petty tyrants and criminalizing freedom of speech, including a British man arrested for praying in an abortion clinic. And boy, there wasn't that a moment where he got that story in. I saw Ben Domenech wrote, boy, I've written speeches where I've tried to get really strong things in, and of course the little staff writers, they always water them down. He said, whoever got that in there, or if JD just did it himself, he's bravo, because that's one of the strongest things I've ever heard.
Yeah. That's a when you hear that story about that guy, that man being arrested for praying silently to himself about something that he was involved with years ago, and he gets arrested for it. Mm-hmm. So now it's thought crimes. Thought crimes, because he was thinking while he was praying about something that happened and affected his life. He was now under arrest for a thought crime. Tom Cruise, where are you?
Yeah, if he had been saying, "Oh, I'm just standing here thinking about what I'm going to cook tonight for dinner," he'd have been fine.
Yeah.
Oh, are you praying? I saw a woman. They stopped a woman in England. What are you doing here? I was just hanging out. Are you praying? She goes, "Are you asking me if I'm praying? You're asking me about my thoughts." She goes, well, yes. You can't pray here. Are you praying? Actually asking the woman, "Are you praying?" in front of this abortion clinic.
Mike Cernovich, anyone can talk a big game on a podcast or in their little safe spaces. Going into the belly of the beast and confronting evil, as J.D. Vance did today, he will be remembered as a pivotal moment. God, easy for me to say. Pivotal moment in history. American self-hatred is over. And boy, that's right on the money.
Yeah, definitely.
Steve Barrett, dear America, can we please borrow J.D. Vance, yours in kind, the United Kingdom?
They could use them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... Now, obviously, if you go over on MSNBC, you're not going to see these. Where's my pearls?
Yeah, but you go over to MSNBC and nobody's seeing what they're doing, because I think people are just kind of tired of it. They are going to see this. They're going to see it on social media. They're going to see it on X. They're going to see it on YouTube and Facebook and Rumble, you name it. And they're going to be like, well, why are they're going to agree with this stuff?
Yeah.
Right? Because normal, commonsensical people, the 80-20 crowd, right? The 80 are going to be like, yeah, that makes total sense. Of course you want to deal with the problem of the crime rising because of the illegal immigration. You have to deal with it. If you don't, then you're setting yourself up for your own destruction.
Want to hear a little bit of the German security whatever counselor here that spoke after J.D. Vance? Listen to a little bit of it. I don't know if this is in German or English, but I think there's a translation.
This is why I cannot just ignore what we heard before. I cannot not comment on the speech we heard by the U.S. Vice President. We fight for your right to be against us. That is the motto, one of the mottos of the Bundeswehr, and it stands for our democracy. This democracy that was just called into question by the US Vice President, and not just the German democracy, but Europe as a whole. He spoke of the annulment of democracy, and if I understood him correctly, he compares the condition of Europe with the condition that prevails in some authoritarian regimes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not acceptable.
Not acceptable, he says. Yes.
Helmut Van Strudel says it's not acceptable.
What was Clay Travis saying yesterday?
He was talking
about this guy.
Yeah.
He was talking about this guy.
And he was talking about J.D. Vance. You see the masculine side.
Yeah.
People like that.
All right, 17 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. More to do. We're back right after this. throw this up for a second? Delgado will appreciate this. He likes this kind of stuff. JD Vance today at the Munich.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out.
David, you know me so well.
Yes.
It's got to be the incredible quality of production they put into it.
Chat. What's going on? Did you do anything, Kev, yet? Any news with Kev?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah, you can jump right.
Okay.
Right like that.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the party. Huh?
Chat. What's going on?
Drink it. I forgot to bring water in.
Lorraine on YouTube. Hello. Ticked off Patriot.
Give it 10
Hello.
seconds.
Kentucky Hill Jill. Hello.
Buy a water fountain.
The real Bruce Lee on X. Hello. Dave Syvertson. What up?
I got you.
Broke Spoke. Hello.
What do you want? Yeah, okay, yeah, right? Let's get a water fountain here. Come on. Come on. Don't hold your water.
Thanks, Damon, for getting Facebook to fix the live chat. I didn't do anything. If it's fixed,
Kevin's got
fixed on its own.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome. Oh.
Kevin just got up, but Rick and Damon and I are at. Oh.
Hi.
Okay. What do you want me to do?
I don't even hear. Is she talking just in your ears? Because I don't hear anything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody's got a leaky earpiece.
Yeah, I heard it driving in. I was like, that was Aaron talking to Kevin.
Yeah, that's a leaky earpiece. Yours does that once in a while.
Well, when I heard it, you said something to Kevin, so I don't know.
They're all on the same channel.
Okay. Here we go.
You going to eat, or you want me to come to you first, or I'll go to Slick first?
Nope, I'll be ready.
Okay, come to you.
Thank you.
Oh, I got to give a shout out to somebody. Their birthday tonight.
Hey, are you doing Slick's super chat?
Super chats?
Something else with an S? We got to come up with a name for this segment. Slick's. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Real America's Voice and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. And if someone who that audience on 103.9 is very familiar with is the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show, weekday mornings, 9 to 11 on LI News Radio, and that is Kevin Downey Jr. He's here. Mr. Downey Jr., first of all, welcome back. Glad you're feeling better. What's going on?
Thank you, my friend. I beat the devil's own virus. It was sick. I've never sweated so much in my life. I've never had such a high temperature. I felt like, I felt like Satan's urinal. That's what it felt like as I was just melting, covered in sweat, and it was repulsive. And I thank you for your prayers.
You sweating like Mike Tyson at a spelling bee or what? Yes?
That's not nice.
There you go.
I mean, that's not nice.
Absolutely. So as you know, folks, Doge is just blowing the doors off of Washington, D.C., which is great. It's wonderful to see. Let's face it, D.C. needs an enema, and Doge is part of the hose. But I want you to keep an eye on Lee Zeldin. Lee Zeldin found $20 billion worth of laundered money not too long ago, but he's out today. I saw this today on Twitter. He posted this. He goes, I just canceled a $50 million Biden-era environmental justice grant to the Climate Justice Alliance, which believes, and I quote, climate justice travels through a free Palestine. Folks, this is everything I've been talking about with these NGOs. You get yourself a name that sounds great. We're the tree frog people. We love the tree frog and we hate Jews. So give us money. And that's exactly what this is. Climate Justice Alliance. That just sounds so green. Just listen to the sound of that.
And it sounds innocent.
It sounds innocent. And they say climate justice travels through a free Palestine. So what they're doing is taking money, probably funneling it to Hamas, probably funding it to Hezbollah, maybe Iran. We don't know. We don't know. But what we do know is Lee Zeldin, and I'm a big fan. This is New York. He's He's a bigwig here. He's a bigwig. I think he should be governor. I think he might have won. I don't know. I don't trust Kathy Hokul, but I'm telling you right now, Lee Zeldin, keep an eye on him. This is hilarious. But this whole climate justice travels through a free Palestine tells you everything you need to know about these NGOs that the Biden administration has been stocking up and funding for years to do their bidding. They do the things that the government agencies cannot do. And Lee Zeldin, I wasn't happy about him going to the EPA. I thought he was meant for something else. No, he's killing it there. And my hat is off from your hometown. It's Suffolk County, Mr. Zeldin. My hat is off to you. Well done.
Yeah. We played a couple of his videos that he dropped just the other day. Remember the one about the gold bars?
Yeah.
He kept referring to them as?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we played that original clip when what do you call it? When it was put out there. And I forgot the guy's name again. About when, they were doing the honeypot thing.
James O'Keefe
catching the guy, talking about throwing basically it was a description of what they were doing. They were trying to get as much money out the door as possible before Trump came in, so they would have no trace of where it went and what they could do to try and get it back. They were just basically throwing gold bars over the edge of the Titanic.
I love these people, by the way. You're seeing it all over by elected Democrat congressmen, senators, and media and talking heads on the left of all saying, well, all Elon and Doge are really finding are things they don't like, but they're not really finding fraud. They're just finding expenditures they don't like. And I'm thinking to myself, do they think we're expecting for them in the books to write, okay, this fraudulent in the books, like they were going to keep like a record of it? Like, what are they saying when they say that? It makes no sense to me. Oh, they're just finding things they don't like.
Yeah, which is called fraud.
Yeah.
We don't like
they didn't
fraud.
mark it in their QuickBooks as fraud for them to find. So, no, yes, it's not there marked as fraud. But if you think it's legit listening to where the money's gone, I think you have problems.
Wait, so you're telling me that the people that were sending off money to fake institutions and NGOs under the guise of this and that.
Yeah, that's just stuff that Elon finds that he doesn't like. That's not fraud.
But they didn't put it in the ledger? They didn't write fraud?
Right. Yeah, they didn't ledger and write up fraud.
Well, then how are we supposed to keep track of it?
Yeah, it can't be.
You know what? I'll tell you, I've thrown a lot of drag queen shows in Madagascar, and they really are about $90,000 a piece. You really need a lot of money to throw yourself a drag show in Madagascar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. All right, Kev, what else is going on?
Did you guys talk about the trans mass shooter? Oof.
Did that happen at the city council? No.
This is, they stopped this one. This is well, I don't know if it's I don't know. I'm in a whirl. I don't know if this is a boy or a girl. Someone named Trinity goes by Jamie, 18-year-old transmabob, was going to shoot up the school on today. It was today. It was scheduled for today, this shooting, because don't forget Parkland, that horrible Parkland shooting, 2018 in Florida was on Valentine's Day. That's the one that gave birth to David Piglet. And now he's out there running around he's running around the DNC or something. But this person had an AR-15, had a bunch of ammo, had a locket, a necklace locket with a picture of Nicholas Cruz. He's the Parkland shooter. Had him. There you go, a little paying an homage to this guy who's an animal who shot up a bunch of people. Of course, big fan of Dylan Roof. Tried to start a race war. So this person decided, I'm going to shoot up the school. But someone dropped a dime on him. Thank God for that. No one got shot. They just raided the house. They got the trans shooter. And the reason I say trans shooter is because, folks, like it or not, and I'm not picking on people. If you're an adult and you want to wear a dress, I don't care. But I'm telling you, there's just yet a huge number of trans people who are going off the deep end and shooting up schools or shooting up their place of employment. This is not normal. This is a shocking number of trans people have been busted committing not only crimes. I could talk about trans on crime or trans on child crime in restrooms all day. I can do that all day. These are trans people who get guns and try to shoot a bunch of people. All right, these are malcontents. They've been told they're oppressed. They've been told there's trans genocide. This is that knucklehead bishop who said, President Trump, go show mercy on the trans people. You know what? How it's about trans people show mercy on kids. all right? Because they're shooting up schools, they're attacking kids in restrooms. I can talk about it for days. I can write a book about it. But no, they've convinced trans people that they are the oppressed. And what happens when you tell mentally ill people they are oppressed? They're going to fight back. It has all the hallmarks of MK Ultra, but you don't even have to brainwash them. Just keep telling them that someone wants to kill them. Who wants to kill them? Well, nobody. But they're saying it's the straight white Christians. That's us. We're the bad guys. White supremacy and all that garbage. This is going to continue until someone says, hey, stop telling people that they are being oppressed.
Well, I mean, that's such a perfect lead into the Worcester crazy town from the other day, but I just can't play it again. But did you happen to see the city council meeting in Worcester, Massachusetts the other day, Kev?
I read about it. I did not see the tape.
Maybe we have to play it during the break for Kev just to get a taste, because we had a don't sound so excited about it, Aaron. I have it. Yeah, we were talking about, the mental illness discussion around these people.
Yeah,
that needs to be had, and all the things you're highlighting in this report.
Now, Damon, in that video, did you get the part where the trans Bob says you better make this a sanctuary town or else?
First speaker on the video says that. Or you better be prepared for trans people to make this a real uncomfortable space.
Right.
I think was her exact words.
Yeah, they're threatening violence. This is all they have. This is all they have, folks. Their playbook is dead. Operation Mockingbird is on life support, and we're going to see more of this because that's the only thing they're going to do is ramp up the rhetoric as Trump goes on.
I want to thank Stephen Barton. Hello from Oregon.
Yeah.
$100 super chat on Rumble.
Damn.
Thank you.
Great way to support the show. Thank you very much, Stephen Barton, over on Rumble.
Steak sandwiches, Nick.
All right, that's a quick hour one. Hour two coming up live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
From the loons.
Lunch Lady 78. Please don't play the chant from the loons.
You could skip through the Crazy Town intro if you want and just get right to the first woman. Here it is, Kev. Look at this.
The city to protect me because the federal government won't. And if you think you're afraid of Trump, you should see how afraid of Trump I am.
Can you wrap up, please?
Yes, I can.
Nobody loves a Charlie in the box.
You say you're afraid of Trump, and that's
She
why
showed
you
up
don't
in a
want
VW with
the city to
200
be a
others.
safe
Looks just
space
like
for
her.
trans people. You better prepare for trans people to make this a very unsafe space.
There you go. Whoa.
Wow. I'm shaking right now. I don't want to be here. I'm sorry, am I taking too long pleading for my life?
You remembered how many children I have and that 2 of them are trans.
I speak as both the B and the T in the LGBT.
I'm multiply
Puts the lotion on the
disabled.
skin,
I have
that guy.
Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder that causes me
Lot of
immense
connective
physical pain. I'm on the autism spectrum, and I have narcolepsy, and I couldn't drive myself here, so I had to hide from my driver that I was in drag,
What a
which is
cry
not
for
an easy thing
attention.
to do in drag.
I do not want to be here. It's my day off. I do not want to be in your DMs. I do not want to be in your email inboxes. I do not want my creativity writing diss tracks like Kendrick. I don't want to spend an hour applying glitter on my face so that you will hear and see me.
This one was wild.
I want you to listen to me.
Let us remember that the Nazis burned the books that the Nazis burned books on gender sciences first. Now the administration has villainized and marginalized migrant workers, trans, LGBT people, and even special needs.
Of course, we need to continue celebrating Black History Month
the
because
BLT.
in spite of what's coming down from Washington, we all know that we all exist and we all need to be recognized for our existence.
But be aware that you are a guest in my house when you come. And when you come, know that there are strong queer and trans people in my classroom who will collect you with the quickness.
She says classroom. Makes me think she's a teacher.
My name in drag is Dee Dee Delight.
She could be.
Dee Dee Delight.
And my name out of drag is Dewey Cosgrove Atienza.
Laddie LaRouge, he, they, in drag, District 3.
My legal name
that's
is
good.
Olivia.
District 3.
District 3.
Live from Studio 6B, 9 o'clock, hour 2 on the East Coast, Real America's Voice, and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's doing sports. Rick Delgado's doing the news. Kevin Downey Jr. is here. He's doing some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Glad you're in. Spent a lot of hour 1 talking about J.D. Vance's just fantastic speech today. Eloquent, sharp, right to the point, cutting. Exactly that said everybody over there, all of those pansies, big mad. But but that's just the way it's going to be. This playtime is over, and it's over around the world too. So we're gonna reset expectations here. And I thought JD was just absolutely fantastic. So there's a lot of other news to do as well. I got a couple things to get through. National Review today, which I really try to stay away from now, but Rich Lowry actually has a really good piece today. Trump's countermarch through the institutions. He says the right has experienced the best 3 weeks in the culture war in the last 50 years, and I think he's right about that.
Yes.
Thanks to President Trump. And then, of course, as I played President Trump's video yesterday, I saw this today, which makes me so filled with joy to see headlines like this, I can't tell you. Mitch McConnell has worn out his welcome in politics. That's the title of this.
Oof.
And that's also exactly right. So I'll try to get to those two if we have some time, but let's do some sports and news. We'll start with sports since we skipped it in the last segment. Sports is brought to you by our friend Mike Lindell, MyPillow. LFS6B is the promo code to use. If you want to shop at MyPillow, it'll give you a great savings on all the great stuff from Mike. Slick's got sports. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, I got a birthday shout out, Big D, in the Real America's Voice Getter chat. Big chat for us as well. From the grandson Kendrick to his nana Garbo, who's a big chatter. Garbo in the Getter chat. So happy birthday, Garbo, to you. And you got a good grandson there, Kendrick. He's a young fella that watches the show every night with his nana.
Not Kendrick Lamar.
Not Kendrick Lamar. No.
Okay.
Kendrick.
They're not like us.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, you get that right. So happy birthday to you. Patrick Mahomes' grandfather dies days after Chiefs Super Bowl heartbreak. Randy Mahomes announced last month that her father was in hospice care. This is Paulina Doge of Fox News just a few hours ago. The grandfather of Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes has died just weeks after being put in hospice care. The NFL star's mother confirmed on Friday. Randy Mahomes shared a post on Instagram announcing the passing of her father, Randy. Hard to find the words of holding my father's hand as he goes to heaven. The caption said, I know he's in a better place. I love you, Daddy. Well done, good and faithful servant. Matthew 25:23. It's a great verse in the Bible. Heartbreaking news from the Mahomes family comes just days after the Chiefs suffered a crushing loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 59. So Randy previously shared her Instagram stories last month that she was lost for words after her father had been placed on hospice care for an undisclosed reason. So not a good month so far there for Patrick Mahomes, one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in NFL history. A little bit of a setback there. And Canadian fans in Montreal boo the U.S. anthem at Four Nations face-off. I've been talking about this All-Star break, or technically All-Star break. NHL's on a break for these four nations that are competing against one another to see who is the top nation of NHL stars. This is Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. Canadian fans in Montreal booed the U.S. national anthem on Thursday night as the Americans prepared to take the ice against Finland at the Four Nations face-off. According to the Associated Press, the booing reportedly broke out even though the Bell Center announcer asked the crowd to show respect during the anthems. We already started them up before the game started. On the other hand, there was a little reaction when Finland's anthem was played. Commissioner Gary Bettman said they tried to foster a positive environment despite the political sniping around them. Our goal is to make sure that we create an environment and that hockey represents an opportunity to bring people together, and I think people understand that, Bettman said. In this building, initially, there was some booing a couple of games ago, and the club made an announcement asking people to stop and show respect for the two great countries, and it stopped, and that's what we expect. Bettman is correct about the booing. Canadian fans have been booing the USA for weeks, ever since President Donald Trump threatened to place tariffs on Canadian goods sold in the USA. It's unfortunate, obviously, and we wish it wasn't the case, but from time to time, things happen and people have strong feelings about it. Deputy Commissioner Bill Daley added, obviously, we are aware of what's been happening here. I think the negativity has probably lessened over the last week. Hopefully, it will continue to lessen and that relations will be normal, but it's something, obviously, we are aware of. So, however, Stanley Cup winning forward Matthew Tkachuk, who we were talking about a couple of weeks ago on the show, was straight out about his feelings over the booing. He said, I didn't like it, and that's all I got. Team USA beat Finland 6-1 and will next play Canada on Saturday. And for that matter, let's hope USA goes all the way and even beats Canada.
Yeah.
I'm saying that right now. That's a wrap.
All right, Slick. 5 minutes past the hour. Let's do some news. News is brought to you by our friends at Seven Cells. Seven Cells, SEVENCELLS. Ivermectin back in stock. If you're looking for it, you can get it at Seven Cells. Use code LFS6B, 10% off. What's going on, Mr. Delgato?
Well, piggybacking off of Slick's comment about the USA slamming Canada, here is President Donald Trump, cut 14, as he slams on Caitlin Collins right to her face. Get used to it, mainstream media, deep state media. This is what you're in for the next 4 years. Cut 14. Check this out.
Mr. President, you won the White House in part because of high inflation. If your tariffs make prices go up...
Excuse me, we haven't asked you to speak yet, please.
And with that, he slams her shut. Not only that, I believe AP has also lost their privileges in the press room because of some of their antics as well. That just coming out today. I don't know if you saw this as well, as the winning keeps coming from the Trump administration, as Governor Kathy Hochul is now in a full-on tizzy because of what is happening. AG Attorney General Pam Bondi announcing that they are going after New York. Here is cut number 11. The new AG talking about the state of New York, that she will be suing along with Governor Hokul, Letitia James, and others due to the illegal immigration problem. Cut number 11. Check this out.
We're here today because we have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hokul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today. As you know, we sued Illinois, and New York didn't listen. So now you're next.
There you have it. That, of course, triggered Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, to put off her meeting with President Trump in wake of the bombshell DOA lawsuit against New York over its sanctuary status. Hochul had planned to meet Trump for lunch, but rescheduled for next week because she's licking her wounds and didn't have much to say regarding the meeting. Here is Letitia James, her lapdog. Here she is raging earlier today about, well, basically what Doge is doing and what the Trump administration is doing. Cut number 3. Check this out. It's Letitia James.
Payments to the state of New York and to states all across this nation.
Cut off the money.
It is unacceptable, unconstitutional, ultra-vires. They have exceeded their authority. And so it's important that attorneys general representing our respective states stand up
Oh, yeah?
and enforce the rule of law. Because Elon Musk, individuals at the Treasury, and the President of these United States is not above the law. And we will continue. You know, as attorneys general, we've been preparing for this. This is not the outcome that we wanted.
Shut up. How about that? How about do what you're told? That's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to end up doing, whether you like it or not.
She's unreal.
Hate to tell you.
Yeah, Letitia James, of course, famous for trying to get Trump. Here she is, kind of. I don't know if she's mumbling her words or if she's letting the truth out. Cut number 4. Letitia said, "What?" Check this out.
No one elected Elon Musk and his minions. And so we've come together because we believe in the Constitution and the rule of law. And we believe that no one is above the law.
Here it comes.
And we believe that there are individuals, obviously, who should be prevented from having access to this law. And we believe that there are individuals, obviously, who should be prevented from having access to this law.
I don't even know what that means.
Exactly. She doesn't know what it means. It sounds like
what's the point of it?
It sounds like she doesn't want people to actually be able to use the law, have it on their side.
What is she talking about? When she says this, use this, what is she talking? I'm asking this. I'm serious because I don't know what she's saying. What is she referring to in that clip when she says, what does she say? I don't, there's some people who shouldn't be allowed to use
have
this.
access
to this law.
To this law.
What law?
Law. In other words, they shouldn't have,
in general,
they shouldn't be able to do things like file lawsuits. They shouldn't be able to.
Certain people.
Certain people.
Yeah.
You can see the confusion on her face where she goes, I have no idea what I'm about to say.
I still have confusion on my face. I have no idea what she's talking
I still
about.
want to know who Elon Musk is.
Well, again, she's going to do what she's told, whether she likes it or not, from the Attorney General and the Department of Justice. That's what she's going to do. So she can yell and scream and jump up and down all about it all she wants. You're going to do what you're told. That's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
And finally, Kathy Hokul, the New York governor, had this to say about firing Eric Adams. You remember, Eric Adams just had his all the charges against him dropped from the federal government. And now that is worrying Kathy Hokul because, well, it looks like he's lining himself up with the other side. She's not very happy about this. Cut number 5. Check this out.
You are the only person who has the power to effectively fire Mayor Eric Adams and remove him from this position, which might conceivably moot this whole fight. How are you thinking about that now? You could have done it at any point until now, but now, given this crisis that's emerged in federal law enforcement around this case, are you feeling differently about that responsibility?
Let me tell you from a couple of angles here. One is that this is unbelievably unprecedented for the Department of Justice in Washington to interfere in this way. My husband was a 30-year federal prosecutor. Barack Obama made him his United States attorney. You look at what happened here. This is not supposed to happen in our system of justice. The Bondi administration in that Department of Justice is already showing they're corrupt.
Unprecedented stuff coming out of the Department of Justice. Really?
I did see the letter that was issued by the acting United States attorney. The allegations are extremely concerning and serious.
Yes.
But I cannot, as the governor of this state, have a knee-jerk, politically motivated reaction like a lot of other people are saying right now. I have to do it smart, what's right, and I'm consulting with other leaders in government at this time. This just happened. I need some time to process this and figure out the right approach.
But you are consulting with other leaders, consulting with your advisors, and looking anew at this matter,
Of course I am.
Given the recent
developments. Of course I am.
Thank God. Should have happened at the 3-second mark of that clip.
It's like two pigeons having.
I mean, is that a joke?
It's sad.
That's where the left is. And this is why they're being overwhelmed.
All right, 13 past the hour. More news with Kevin Downey Jr., more sports with Slick, all coming up. Where do you find those clips? Yeah, we got to try to find better versions, especially like that. I mean, that was. Always go to MSNBC's YouTube and see if that clip is there before you take the TikTok version of it, the up and down version of it. Damon, can you ask Kevin where he got that sweet Hamas flag shirt?
He's getting ready for the release for the hostages, right?
He won't return my multiple pages.
When is midnight over there? When is that? Is that around midnight all time? I mean, when is 12 noon tomorrow? Is that in Trump's deadline, right, with the hostages? That's tomorrow at noon?
Noon tomorrow.
Is that noon USA time or is that noon?
I think that's noon Trump time, no matter where he is.
Okay, that makes sense, Fran.
Kevin, can you give me a 5 count?
Kev, give him a 5 count. I think your mic's got a short in it or something.
How's this? 1, 2, 3.
Pull it towards you there. Talking
into the microphone. Big KDJ microphone sticking in my face.
That sounds better.
All right, thank you.
We have an electrical short issue somewhere.
Yeah.
We're on 103.9 tonight.
I'm sure it's this up-to-date infrastructure and facility we have.
TikTok Patriot says yes, slick Eastern Standard Time. So Fran is correct too. Yep, EST for Trumpster.
Someone says, this is a Patriot Ed. May I ask you to identify the pie building shown when they return from the first 30-minute break?
The what shown?
The pie building? Just curious as to what it is.
I don't know what that means.
That's a picture of the city. The building that's on a slice. It's like, what is it? Who is that building? Is that? One's got a little slant to it.
That?
Yeah.
Oh.
Check this out.
Oh, you have reads here, Damon.
That's my condo.
Damon.
What?
Reads?
Oh.
That's about right.
I'll sound like the blues. All right, I'm going to read something to you as soon as I find out what it is. You think I would know. As Fran just said to me, these are in the same spot every night. Well, let me talk to you about our friends at Patriot Mobile. While we may have won this election, the fight to restore our great nation is only beginning. Now is the time to take a stand, and Patriot Mobile is leading the charge. As America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, Patriot Mobile offers a way to vote with your wallet without compromising on quality or convenience. Patriot Mobile isn't just about providing exceptional cell phone service. It's a call to action to defend your rights and freedoms. With Patriot Mobile, you'll get outstanding nationwide coverage because they operate on all 3 of the major networks. If you have cell phone service today, you can get cell phone service with Patriot Mobile, and you can get a coverage guarantee. But the difference is every dollar you spend supports the First and Second Amendments, the sanctity of life, our veterans, and our first responder heroes. Switching is easy. Keep your number, keep your phone, or you can upgrade. They have a 100% U.S. base. Let me say that again. 100% U.S.-based customer support team. They'll help you find the perfect plan for you. Go right now. PatriotMobile.com/RAV. PatriotMobile.com/RAV, or you can call 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT. You can get a free month of service if you use the promo code RAV, R-A-V. Switch to Patriot Mobile today and defend freedom with every call and text that you make. Visit PatriotMobile.com/RAV, PatriotMobile.com/RAV, or call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. Well, if you've seen the news from economists, they're forecasting, no, not a recession, but possible depression. That's right, depression. By the year 2030, we're in a perfect storm as Social Security and Medicare hit a breaking point, with the largest generation now hitting retirement. You have a smaller workforce, which means a smaller tax base. Pair all of that with our growing national debt, rising cost of living, and you've got a huge problem. So what do you do now? That's the question. What do you do to protect your family for the future? Well, gold is a safe haven. And if you've been listening to me read this for a couple years, you know that. Look at the run gold has been on. Gold's a safe haven in hard economic times, and Birch Gold makes it easy to diversify a portion of your savings into physical gold. Birch Gold will help you transition an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and it won't cost you a penny out of pocket. Protect your future today. Text the word America to 989898 and get your free information kit on gold and a copy of the Ultimate Guide to Gold in the Trump Era with a foreword written by Donald Trump Jr. There's no obligation, only information. Birch Gold has earned the trust of countless Americans looking to safeguard their savings. You can count on Birch Gold too. Text the word America right now. Send it to the number 989898 and do it today. All right, 20 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, or did we just do sports last segment? Well,
we did sports last segment.
We can do a little sports here. Give me a little update on the scoreboard there. So, what's going on?
The scoreboard? Sure. Hold on. I got to get to the scoreboard.
Well, whatever
first.
you got.
I'm ready. Here we go. I'll get to the scoreboard. NCAA men's basketball. Good one. UCLA 45-41 over Indiana. 14 to go in the second half. Final from earlier tonight. Loyola Chicago down St. Louis 78-69. Nevada at San Jose State. That's a 10 p.m. tip-off. Gave you the golf earlier tonight. Very light score. We have nothing going on in the NHL yet either. No update there. NCAA softball big day underway. The young ladies are out there playing softball already. Texas Tech and Texas tied at 1 apiece. Number 1 Texas, the Longhorns, that is. Bottom of the 5th inning. LSU 7-1 over Northwestern. That's in the bottom of the 4th. And back to you. I got a couple of stories in the last sports segment tonight.
All right, very good. 21 past the hour. So Michael Schellenberger was testifying not too long ago, and I don't know where J.D. Vance's speech, who wrote it, or exactly where it came from, but I'll tell you, there was some echoes of some of what Mr. Schellenberger testified in front of Congress just a few weeks ago. Listen to this.
The censorship industrial complex remains almost entirely intact. In Europe, Australia, Britain, Brazil, and other nations in the West continue to seek new forms of censorship and information control, including digital identification tied to social media. And after I published the Twitter files of Brazil last spring, the Attorney General of Brazil opened a formal criminal investigation of me, which is still ongoing. And the European Commission appears intent upon using its powers granted to it through the Digital Services Act to demand that X, Facebook, and other platforms censor speech. The Commission last year threatened to fine X up to 6% of its annual global revenue for failing to crack down on so-called false information and not handing over its data to small committees of experts chosen by the Commission to decide what is true and false. To be sure, the momentum is with us, the free speech advocates. We've won a number of important battles over the last 2 years. But it's also clear that many governing and media elites worldwide view expanding censorship of online platforms as a must-have, not a nice-to-have feature of global governance. The head of NATO, NATO-backed think tanks, the European Commission, former President Barack Obama, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Bill Gates, the United Nations, the World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, influential think tanks at Harvard and Stanford, elements of the DoD, the CIA, the FBI, the National Science Foundation, the Department of Homeland Security, and many others have all called for government censorship of so-called misinformation in recent years. And it's not just censorship that's the problem. The problem is that deep state agencies within the U.S. government have for 2 decades sought to gain control over the production of news and other information around the world as part of ongoing covert and overt influence operations. And that after 2016, multiple actors and several deep state U.S. government agencies turned to the tools of counterterrorism, counterinsurgency, and counterpopulism against the American people. I strongly urge Congress to defund the censorship industrial complex and seek a proper accounting of the various efforts to fund it, including secretly through pass-through organizations and shell organizations like the ones employed by USAID to fund groups like OCCCRP and hide U.S. government funding and control. I further urge Congress to seek other ways to reduce the exposure of American social media users and companies to the threat of censorship from Europe, Britain, Brazil, and other nations. We should respect national sovereignty, but Vice President Vance makes a good point when he asks why Americans should be spending our wealth and putting our lives on the line for Western European NATO members who are actively demanding censorship by American companies of our speech. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Boom. Exactly. Exactly. And that's exactly what J.D. Vance addressed a lot of that today, or at least part of it.
Yeah, Schellenberger was also asked a question from Thomas Massey, where he gets into, about USAID and everything that they're responsible for and what they do. And even Joni Ernst, was really coming down hard on what they've been finding and how all of this has been playing out since Elon Musk and the Doge crew have been kind of unleashed to say, okay, go find it. It's almost like Trump unleashed his bloodhound and said, go find me some fraud. And you see everybody who's freaking out is because they're the ones that we're benefiting from.
Douglas Murray today, very important speech by J.D. Vance. Well done for saying what European leaders need to hear and, more importantly, need to act upon. So, all right, we don't have a ton of time. You got any quick news we can get to, and then we'll do some more when we get back, Delgado?
Let's see here. Let's see what I've got. Do I have how much time? About a minute and a half?
Well, by the way, let's just do this. Because J.D. Vance, by the way, if you didn't see the Wall Street Journal headline today, J.D. Vance replied to that. And he said, the fact that the Wall Street Journal twisted my words in the way they did for this story is totally absurd, but not surprising considering they have spent years pushing for more American sons and daughters in uniform to be unnecessarily deployed overseas. All right, we'll do some news with Delgado, Kevin Downey Jr., all coming up live from Studio 6B on a Friday night right after this.
I'm practicing. I'm practicing.
That's hilarious.
To run that Slick Rick Super Chat summary by Big D and the boys. All right, here we go. We got LSU Patriot with a big one there. Thank you. $10 from LSU Patriot. Big D, have you tried Relief Factor? Yeah, it's called taking off from the show for a few days. Charlie Kirk swears by it. Praying your back is healed, brother. You guys have helped me through the hardest 5 years of my life. Thank you. Missed you, KDJ. That's your friend LSU Patriot. Thank you very much.
LSU Patriot.
Thank
God
you,
bless
sir.
you.
I believe it's a sir. Yeah, it must be a sir. Thank you. Who else we got going on? Well, LSU Patriot gave us $2 too. KDJ, I can see you're rocking a badass pompadour style. Okay, there you go. Nice. LSU Patriot, pumping up the coin, Big D.
Up the coin. Up the coin. Dance, dance, dance.
What else we got going on? Paul Ferroli asks, any news, Delgado, on cash today?
They're going to put that off as long as they can.
Yeah, they sure are.
What is the deal with cash?
What'd you hear? Tuesday?
Why would it even be that long? The 30 hours are almost over.
Well, you got a holiday weekend, Big D. It's Valentine's Day today. Monday's a holiday. You know, these things take time. They're milking these things.
They are.
I'm
allergic to some.
Haley H. just gifted 5 subs from Studio 6B memberships, Big D.
Nice. Love the gifted subs.
Haley H., thank you, dear.
Check to make sure you might have free ones to give away.
I think Patel is tomorrow, they're saying, in the morning.
Oh, really?
Maybe 11 a.m.
That's what I'm saying. That would be the 30 hour. That would be the 30-hour window. Yeah.
Oh,
We also have a $10 super chat on Rumble from Pathfinder 917. Thank you very much.
Oh, Pathfinder.
Nice. Pathfinder 917. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Says Congress out of session for a week.
Past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Real America's Voice and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. Glad you're in, everybody. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's going to do some more news. Kevin Downey Jr.'s got some news coming up as well. Just a couple things I want to get to, at least one of them for sure, and that's this one entitled, Mitch McConnell has worn out his welcome in politics. Throughout his more than 40-year political career, McConnell has prioritized his own interests and petty beefs over the needs of voters. Mitch McConnell may be nearing the end of his political career, thank God, but that doesn't mean he's done stabbing Republican voters in the back. Oh, no, it does not. During the past few weeks, the former Senator GOP leader has voted against President Trump's high-profile cabinet picks. He's voted the lone Republican to side with the Senate Democrats against Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. He followed suit on Thursday again, joining Democrats in opposing the nomination of RFK Jr. He also voted against Pete Hegseth as Defense Secretary. These actions would be considered stunning if taken by any GOP senator from a so-called red state, but For McConnell, disregarding the wishes of his constituents is just another day that ends in Y. McConnell's record of betrayal throughout his 40-year career in Washington, D.C., the 82-year-old senator has regularly prioritized his own special interests and petty political beefs over the needs of those who elected him. Not content with simply defying his voters, he's gone out of his way to push forward negotiated legislation that oftentimes advanced the Democrat priorities and left conservatives hanging in the wind. He did it throughout the Obama administration, by the way. That exact thing. Greased the skids for anything Obama wanted to do. In summer of 2022, McConnell, then the Senate minority leader, was instrumental in helping Senate Democrats pass a radical gun control package. As we wrote about here at The Federalist, the bill included vague language about dating partners and red flag laws, which allowed law enforcement to temporarily confiscate guns from someone the government deems a danger to the public or themselves, and that can be easily exploited by partisan bureaucrats. The same year, he also backed Biden's priorities with the $1 trillion omnibus infrastructure package and the CHIPS Act. McConnell's clear disregard for his voters' interests was also apparent during last year's congressional session, in which the Kentucky Republicans supported numerous bloated spending packages that helped drive up the national debt. He additionally opposed an amendment to reform the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which intel agencies abused to spy on Americans and surveil Trump's 2016 campaign. Also, never forget it was McConnell along Senator James Lankford who helped spearhead the infamous 2024 bipartisan border bill, which sought to effectively codify the Biden administration's border invasion into federal law. That legislation also designated $60 billion for Ukraine. McConnell's been a major proponent of dumping unlimited American dollars into Ukraine with no clear strategy or thought as how to doing so impacts you, the U.S. taxpayer. When he's not accusing America First Republicans weary of getting bogged down in another aimless foreign conflict of flirting with isolationism and decline, the Kentucky senator is busy insulting their intelligence for opposing his interventionist stance. McConnell said those who oppose his international agenda hold the dimmest and most short-sighted views of our obligations, suggesting such a stance has no place in the United States Senate. The exhaustive list of McConnell stabbing us in the back is too big to even mention. Trump endorsed GOP candidates in the 22 midterms. He attacked. He attacked his Republican colleagues for protests in the Pentagon's unlawful abortion policy. He issued remarks to give credence to Democrats' dishonest talking points. McConnell's numerous betrayals are too many to fit into one article, and therein lies the main problem. And absolutely right. And now, of course, with his mental and physical declines, it is time for the dog track for the worst single elected Republican official ever, at least in my lifetime, which is Mitch McConnell.
Hear, hear.
Yep.
He's incapable now. He was incapable then. He was incapable back in the early 2000s when he was attacking the Tea Party in 2013-14, helping Obama. Again, like I said, grease the skids for whatever Obama wanted. He's been a total disaster on primaries and real conservative candidates, raising money against them, sticking his ugly mush where it doesn't need to be, backing the rhinos consistently. An utter, incapable, and unwilling, and just an utter disaster that man is.
And somehow amassing a fortune of nearly $100 million.
Well,
his wife's as much responsible for that as he is.
Therein lies the problem. Mitch McConnell owes his fortune to the Chinese Communist Party, who granted his in-laws a shipping company. You can't own a business in China or out of China or anywhere near China without China being involved in it. And they said, Mitch, we're going to let your wife and her family have a shipping company. You're going to be rich, but you're going to do everything we tell you to do. And a couple of times in his career, when he tried to step out of that, they hauled him into China, not as a senator, but as a private citizen. Sat him down and said, Mitch, play nice or we're going to pull the plug. And he has consistently gone with the rhinos, with the deep state swamp wigglers every time, as you pointed out, D. He's always doing exactly what you don't want him to do, and that is how you know he's a reptile.
He's the worst.
Yep.
Single biggest debt creator the Republican Party has ever seen, and it's not even close. With these continuing CRs, he always got run over by whoever on the Democrat side was in charge of it. Because he was basically playing ball with them.
Right. Yeah, anytime you say run over, it makes it seem like he didn't see it coming. He actually let it happen.
Yep.
So, I don't know when we'll finally be rid of this, but let's hope it's soon. Let's hope we don't have to wait till 2026 or whenever his term's up. That's for sure.
Yeah, 26.
Yeah. All right, 37 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some news. News is brought to you by our friends at 7 Cells. If you're looking for ivermectin to keep the inflammation in your body down, you want to take one a week like I do, you can get it at 7 Cells, 7cells.com. Use code LFS6B at checkout. What's going on, Rick Delgado?
All right. Well, of course, earlier this week, the Delivering on Government Efficiency Subcommittee, led by Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, got kicked off, holding its first hearing Wednesday as Congress began working with the White House and President Trump's plan to reshape the federal government. Of course, we all knew what was going to happen. They were going to focus at least the Democrats on the subcommittee. We're going to focus in on billionaire Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency, the Doge as being a crucial problem in this war on waste. And, of course, they spent no time wasted going after him. As a matter of fact, even before the subcommittee started, Representative Robert Garcia showed up on MSNBC to talk to one of the CIA's reporters about what it would look like for him working on this committee. Here's what he had to say. Check this out. This is cut number 15. This is Robert Garcia on MSNBC, cut 15.
Wondering if y'all being on committees like this doesn't validate or normalize the work of Doge, which is certainly going about in anything but normal capacity here as it tries to basically rip out root and stem various parts of government, even agencies themselves. What would you say to folks like that?
Yeah, I would say that first, I have zero interest working with Marjorie Taylor Greene, our chairwoman on this committee, or the House Republicans on this committee to help them with anything as it relates to Doge. What we're there for and what we're there to do is to fight, to push back on the lies, to bring attention to what's going on right now at our agencies, and to make sure that people know that we are going to fight every single day to ensure that we get Elon Musk out of our private information. So it's important that we are there. Look, if we weren't there, they would have the entire committee essentially to themselves. But let's make no mistake about it. We are not going to be working with the House majority, and we're certainly not going to be working with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think folks today are going to see us get really engaged and ask really tough questions.
Yeah, so there you have it, Representative Robert Garcia trying to make a name for himself as he is part of that House subcommittee. And, of course, he went right after it as soon as he got his first chance. Here he is introducing an Elon Musk picture to the Doge subcommittee. This is cut number 16. Again, he's not really there to work with anybody. He's just there to kind of, I guess, make a name for himself. Maybe he sees that there's a leadership void in the Democratic Party and thinks, this is my chance to be the male version of AOC. Here he is, cut 16, Representative Garcia, introducing a picture to the subcommittee, cut 16.
Chairwoman Greene is in charge of running this committee. Now, in the last Congress, Chairwoman Greene literally showed a dick pic in our oversight congressional hearing. So I thought I'd bring one as well.
What?
Wow.
Now, this, of course, we know is President Elon Musk. He's also the world's richest man. He was the biggest political donor in the last election. He has billions of dollars in conflicts of interest. And we know that he is leading a power grab, also abided by and encouraged by Donald Trump.
Yeah. This is the modern day Democrat leftist political party.
This is why This is why Mark Halperin, in their very fine show that I watch in the mornings, the two-way show with Mark Halperin, Sean Spicer, and Dan Turrentine, who is without a doubt the most sensible Democrat I've heard in a long time, say that no, don't buy into the fact that they're getting their legs now, the Democrats, after being, overwhelmed after the election on what do we do next, that the people arguing that now they're getting their legs. When you have guys like this being the front men for those kinds of discussions, this is what people are saying. People are not going, oh yeah, let's go with this guy.
Yeah.
AOC, Bernie Sanders, Swalwell, all these morons on TV trying to gaslight everybody on all these things, all their social media little talking heads trying to just find something to talk about because they don't know what to do. No one listens to that and goes, oh yeah, we're charging again.
Yeah,
that sounds like a moron.
And that's why, from earlier, James Carville saying we're getting overwhelmed because of everything that's happening. It's so fast. It's so quick. They can't understand how come all their old tactics aren't working. It's because it's a brand new world, and they've been left behind. I don't know if you saw this lady, because, of course, the left always calls for violence. That's their go-to when things get out of hand, when they can't control anything anymore. Here's one lady, cut number 20, who's calling out the Dems for wanting to take it to the streets. Cut 20. We may not get through the whole thing, but check this out.
Oh, really? Y'all talk about taking what to the streets? I hear you Democrat politicians talking about taking something to the street. We got to use violence. Oh, yeah? Y'all want this smoke? Well, come on out to the street, because there's a whole bunch of angry taxpayers, baby. And I don't think you got enough bodyguards for us, honey. So you watch what you say. And now y'all want to sing civil rights songs? What side are you on? What side are you on? Really? We ain't on your damn side. We on God's side. Because y'all the devil. Y'all the devil. And how dare y'all talk about violence? The party of love and happiness. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Bring it to the streets. Come on, I dare you. Bring it to the streets. Let's see what happens when you bring it to the streets. Hell out of here. Y'all look like a bunch of damn fools. Shut your ass up.
Taking it to the streets.
Yeah.
Taking it to the streets.
That dude is angry.
What side are you on?
What side?
I think we got to play something.
All right, 17 till the hour. We're back. Wrap it up on a Friday night right after this.
Like a B-52. That's what that was.
He's trying to get paid.
He is. He wants to be part of the squad.
Is there any breaking news about another appellate judge smacking down one of these district court judges and saying, no? Nick Sorter just said breaking a federal judge has just sided with Elon Musk and Doge, rejecting an effort to block them from accessing government information systems. See if you can. He doesn't link to an article, so I don't know if it's true or if.
Slick Rick Super Chat summary, Big D. Another one. LSU Patriot really spreading the coin tonight. Another $2. Not enough props for Fran and Aaron. Love you guys. There you go. $2.
Patriot Ed says that does anyone tell D that the red lights behind him remind people of Biden's speech with the lights in the Marines?
The red lights behind me?
Mm-hmm.
Should I start grabbing my fists up and angrily screaming at you?
Well, what's funny, Kevin, if you just hold your look up straight ahead. Okay, sit back down just a little bit. When you're sitting like that, it looks like you have a yarmulke on.
Yeah, it does.
it's the baseball hat behind you.
That's funny. I'm not finding anything about what you just said.
No, me either.
Unless it's just fresh off the presses and not even on the presses yet, so to speak.
You don't see anything?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, he didn't link to an article, so I don't like to jump on these things until I see it in print.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Careful around there, Big D.
Which side are you on?
Like people are trying, like this is what I'm saying on the left. Like they're trying to say that Pete Hegseth was sipping bourbon at his press conference today. This is what they're trying to write.
Is it Woodford Reserve? Bourbon and Coke, right?
Well, you got the Coke.
I had a good bourbon yesterday. Where was it?
Which one?
Woodford Reserve. I like the Woodford Reserve.
You can't go wrong with Woodford.
No, it's good. Smooth. It's not the best of the best, but it's certainly not. It's not rat gut either.
Right.
Which side are you on?
Everybody's singing it now. We got to play some for Kevin before the end of the show.
Kev hasn't heard it?
No.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Real America's Voice and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. It's been a great week, been a great show. Thanks to everybody who's chipped in this week, all the great guests. Boy, great response to Kristen Thorne last night, and hopefully she'll be back. Interesting stuff there. I know Delgado couldn't get enough.
How was it? How were the emails? There were
just one. I mean, the Twitter and comments, direct messages, emails.
You don't understand. You know, stuff like that, those like investigative type things, those things, they just
I mean, once we got off the air, Delgado went over to her. I thought I was going to have to hire her a bodyguard to keep him away. He's like trying to find out what information she's got on what thing. Yeah. He wants to I think he wanted to tag along on the
UFOs
to go look for
sexy
evidence.
Sexy Rexy's.
He wanted to head over to Gilgo Beach last night.
He wanted to go to Gilgo. He asked her to go to Gilgo Beach last night.
Yeah,
play footsies in the sand and look for evidence.
Looking for more evidence, maybe another body or something.
Oh, God.
Sexy Rexy, baby.
Delgado, you lost
and I just said, Delgado, she doesn't know anything about UFOs, so just please don't even go there.
I heard that.
You heard me say it to her?
Yeah, I did.
Right in front of her. I said, Delgado, she doesn't do any UFOs, so please.
Right.
You don't know that, though.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that, but I was just trying to slow you down.
Right.
Because you looked like Vin at a party where he wants to go talk about the Facebook posts.
I was not at that part of our relationship where I could introduce the flat Earth UFO stuff. We just met.
Yeah, save that for at least meeting 2.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good.
Exactly. Come on.
That's second date Delgado right there.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a little more news with Kevin Downey Jr. Before we wrap it up. Mr. Downey Jr. is the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show, 9 to 11 weekday mornings, LI News Radio, where you're hearing us right now. Mr. Downey Jr., what's going on?
Well, check this out. You're not going to believe this. This comes from the Daily Signal. Headline, federal agencies tasked with giving out foreign aid have allocated more than $27 million for activist groups that also support legal defense efforts for leftist protesters in the U.S. That's right. This comes from USAID again. They are, basically they're paying anarchists to burn down the big blue toilet towns, and they're paying to get them back out of jail if they do get arrested, and get them back out on the streets where we need them. Now, again, this is no shock because so much of what is coming out of USAID, keep in mind, folks, they never said no to anyone requesting money. They approved everything that came through the door as per Elon Musk. Now, here's the fun part. I shall read my broadcaster's voice. The State Department and USAID allocated the funds as early as 2014 to groups under the TIDES label that help drive anti-police, anti-Israel activism. Boom! There we are again, folks. Another NGO that hates Jewish people. Whatever they call themselves, whatever they pretend to be up to, they're attacking Jewish people at one point or another. And again, this is from USAID, $27 million for violent street pinkos to burn down the big blue toilet cities across our nation. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. Every day something comes up where you go, wow, I can't believe someone found that. It's more and more money. And you know what? Here's the fun part. It's your money. You go to work every day so that they can take your money and they can give it to Antifa, who they don't work. Those idiots don't work. You know, they sit there, they buy their non-binary underpanties online, and then they put them on, they go to war. And then your money keeps them on the street. This is going to keep happening. We've got tons of these coming up, and we're going to every other day is another one. Every other day, and that's just the latest one. $27 million of your money to keep the green-haired bozos on the streets fighting the cops. That's from Daily Signal, which I haven't really read them much, but I'm really into them lately, and I kind of
I love the Daily Signal.
I love them now. Yeah, I love them. I'm kind of new to it, but absolutely. And this one's going to make you sick. A teacher and her son in Texas decided, and folks, it really steams my clams when I see teachers, pedophiles, whatnot, going after kids. Well, this teacher, she has a different attack. She and her son were trafficking a 15, a 16, and a 17-year-old, 3 girls, out of a cheap hotel in Texas. One girl had more than 100 Zelle deposits made to her account. She had to force that over to Mrs. Pimp and her son. And and here's the sick part. They came into school, these girls, covered in bruises. Ugh. And what happens these days, it's not like when we were kids, we came in with bruises. I mean, I went to school in Detroit. So if I didn't show up with bruises, I was...
They thought you weren't loved.
Yeah. I went to Catholic school. I left with bruises. Those nuns were brutal. And they said, what's going on? And one of the girls said, well, Mrs. So-and-so has us working the streets. And they went, up, just get to class. So finally, the teacher's been arrested. Her son's been arrested. Now the parents are going after the school. Why did you allow this? Now, if you listen to my radio show, and you should, I talked the other day about a teacher who groomed a 17-year-old, taught her how to claim she was homeless. Her parents had no idea this was going on. And she established herself as homeless, moved in with the teacher, a female teacher, a female student. And, you know why? She wasn't homeless. They were... involved. And the school hid it from the parents. And no one from the school, no one got in trouble. And when they approached the teacher, they said, well, Miss So-and-so, she helps kids navigate their sexuality. Now, when I was in school, my parents, especially if it was a guy, the men in the neighborhood would have just beaten the potato salad out of him. But they're grooming kids right under your noses, all right? And I'm telling you now, as sure as the sun will rise, you will see an M for minor attracted person thrown onto the end of the LGBT FBI thing. You're going to see it right there. It's going to be LGBT FBI M. MAP, minor attracted person. That's a pedophile. Don't be tricked. That's what's going on in our schools, and it's sick.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Mary Kay Letourneau, right? Because from what I understand, as soon as the girl turned 18, they left the state. She left the state with the teacher.
Yes.
Well, Kev, I know you had the flu, and you're back now, feeling good, but you still seem to have a little bit of the cough and the sniffles there. I'm listening to you tonight.
Sorry.
So I was thinking maybe a good way to maybe we could scare the rest of it out of you.
Okay. Flush the system.
Yeah, flush the system.
Yeah.
Would be like giving you a little dose of this.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
That's one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Which side are you on?
What key are they singing in?
Which side are
That
you
would be the key of
on?
non-binary.
We'll fight
Oh my God.
against Doge. We'll fight Elon Musk.
They're torturing kittens.
We landscape within our walls.
Listen to
we'll
that.
fight from dawn
Grinding
to
their heel
dusk.
on a hamster.
Oh, which side are you on? Kill me.
All right, Aaron, that's good.
Oh, come
There
on.
you go, Kev.
Take us out with
Get the
that.
rest of it out.
That was right in the how could you do it in the chorus?
That should be a takeout.
You know
that
what?
song for us.
My sinuses are cleared, Big D. Thanks.
We'll go on to that. Yeah, there you go. I told you. See, I knew it would work. All right, Delgado, anything left in a minute here in the news?
Yeah, good news. Border Czar Tom Homan refers AOC to the Justice Department after her office advises illegals on how to avoid ICE. She was even doing a webinar.
Yeah.
Hoping to, school as many illegals into avoiding ICE and getting away with being here illegally. Also, another good one, Jen Psaki is starting to break. She's advising Democrats, since they've lost everything and are out of power and control, that the time has come for the party to go break some S. So she's advocating, it sounds like, for street violence. Jen Psaki. You remember Jen P. Psaki?
Yeah.
Circle back to that, I guess, huh?
Yeah. She's circling back to violence now.
Well, they're just lost. I mean, that's the end. That's the end result. They're just lost. So, what can they do? So, all right, Kev, this one's for you as well. On our way out.
Taste the biscuit.
As always, we salute our military, active, inactive, police, firefighters, first responders.
Taste the honey sauce.
That's great.
Crank it up, friend. Thanks, everybody on the show. Aaron Frank, great job as always. We'll see you all Monday.